Internet dating sites can be highly successful and even fun. 94% of couples who met online keep seeing each other, but only if they've spent a significant amount of time getting to know each other before meeting for the first time. However, the new media was a topic of concern with marriage counselor and author Dave Carter. He visited us last May. Here's what he said. I'm surprised at the successful unions that are coming out of the internet services.
Oh, there are some great statistics behind that stuff.
I mean, initially
Really?
I thought, do you really want to go there? But
oh, it's the best place to meet a potential spouse. Really much better than a bar or some place like that. And actually the numbers, if we had time, I'd go into those.
Give us a taste. Give us a taste.
Well, they actually say that when one of those agencies, I don't want to say which one, but one of them will actually tell you that if you meet their criteria and they put you online, they will give you 5 names, any one of which you'll have better than an 80% chance of reporting high-level marital satisfaction 5 years after the marriage. Now that's as good or better than we can do on paper and pencil tests.
Why does that work better than meeting someone socially?
Well, because the tendency is to hide. We're not real forthright and open when we first meet. It's a disclosure process.
You're telling everything about yourself.
Exactly. There's the match right up there in the numbers. So they put it together. You're not choosing. They're giving you some names of people that meet certain criteria and algorithms in their statistical process.
And yet opposites attract. How does that match?
Well, a lot of that stuff is proprietary, and I don't really know how they do it, but it's pretty good stuff. I'll tell you that.
Okay, dark side of this situation, secrecy of the internet. What's your concern there? You've touched on it all.
Well, the dark side for many people is not just the bad side, like pornography and stuff like that. But whenever we go through difficult times, sustained stress, we're going to talk about that a bit more, the tendency is to go back to happier times in your life. And so what you want to do is go back and find old classmates. And I wonder how Susie's doing, or I wonder how Bill's doing, you know? Guys, those are great times. So now, in the last 6, 7 years, you just type their name into classmates.com and you find them. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, is that infatuation that you had with that individual is not gone away. You don't have to grow that relationship. It's stored. It's planted in your brain.
It has a foundation already.
It has a foundation there. And here's the saying we use. 30 minutes of regular contact with an old girlfriend or boyfriend, you will have a second infatuation explosion. Oh, it'll just sweep you off your feet, okay? It'll bring all that old stuff back. And here's the clincher. 30 more days, you're in the sack together. 60 days from the start of regular contact with an old boyfriend or girlfriend, not just a classmate, old boyfriend or girlfriend, you're going to be fighting sexual temptation that you did not know existed.
Wow. 60 days to disaster. Whether you're being fulfilled in your marriage or yearning for something more, we want to dare you to discover how 40 days of intentional caring can rekindle the love that drew you to your spouse. The Love Dare is an adventure you embrace together, and we want every couple to take it. Call our pledge lines, become a member of our Crossroads family, and we will send you the book as our thank you. Now, here's some great news about the internet. You can go to 100huntley.com and enjoy the whole week of interviews with Dr. Dave Carter on affair-proofing your marriage. Here he is again with a word of encouragement for your marriage.
Remember, you only know a part of your spouse. You just do. That's just the way human nature develops and unfolds across the lifespan. So keeping up with that all the way through your adult life is an interesting journey, to say the least.
And a good reminder.
Yeah.
We hear it often when we talk on the subject of marriage that you need to get to know your spouse. You need to make that a lifelong journey. If
you haven't made a point to do that in a very specific fashion in the last 5 years, you don't know where your marriage is, because marriage moves on and it is not a static union, and it continues to grow and develop, and there's all kinds of new experiences that happen in it. So if you're treating your spouse and living with your spouse and talking with your spouse about topics that you were talking about 5 years ago, your marriage has moved beyond you. So that's one of the factors of risk. You need to stay abreast of what's going on between the two of you.
Yesterday, Norma Jean talked about these 3 little words. She told her sons never to say them to a girl unless she was the one they planned to marry. How often does your spouse hear them now? How about your children? Do you say the words, "I love you"? Let's make it our goal to get to know our spouse, our children, our friends and neighbors, and our God, who wants to love them through us. Do you know the Lord of love? We would love to introduce you to Jesus Christ. You can call our prayer lines anytime. Don't go away.